Alrighty, what's up everybody? My peeps! What's going on you sexy bitches and all you other pieces of garbage? It is I, your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a late Friday afternoon video right here on the official Peter Joseph YouTube wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Thank you for watching, make yourselves at home. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down there, inside of my pants, otherwise known as the description box below on this channel and my other channels as well. Show your love and support. We are 5 away from 800 subscribers. Hopefully we'll get there by the weekend, or hopefully we'll get there by Memorial Day weekend. We've got about 2 weeks left, or by the end of the month would be nice, but I mean, we'll see what happens with that. So we got about about 2.5, well, let me say that. Yeah, a little over 3 weeks away, actually, 22 days away from the end of the month. So hopefully by the end of the month, we'll get to 800 and beyond. And then, we'll be on the road to 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Hopefully we'll get there, maybe by next year. But I mean, we'll see. You know, slow and steady wins the race, but we're 5 away from 800, so tell your friends, tell your friends to tell their friends and their friends to subscribe to the channel. Lots of great content on here, and my other channels as well. Show your love and support to those channels as well. Leave a comment on any of the videos. Well, these stupid comments, because you'll get blocked, sent to the Shadow Realm when you'll never be seen from again, and Satan will eat your soul. So please, do not do that. Respect my channels, and if not, go fuck yourself, go to your dead channel with 25 subs and nobody gives 2 fucks about it. And that's pretty much it. Can't follow simple rules, then get out of here. That's that. And also you can follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one, because if you miss anything, you're pretty much SOL. And if you don't know what it means, look it up. That's all I gotta say about that. And for our first-time viewers, if you're just watching me, you're floating around YouTube, and you see my gorgeous, sexy face, and you think about, what the hell's up with this guy? Well, come on in. The water's fine. But if you want to check my videos out, go ahead. If you like the channel and the videos, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for more. And when you do join my channel and subscribe to my channel, as we say in the business, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax. You grab yourself your own colon, or this one right here. You grab yourself a colon like this. Whatever you got. Put your feet up, step on in, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You know, pack your things and get the fuck out. Well, that's all I gotta say about that. You like it, great. You don't, too bad. Too bad for you. Alright, after that long-winded spiel, hope everybody had a great Friday, gotta get down on Friday, something for the weekend. Alright, it's the first official weekend of May the 9th, 2025. We got SmackDown, the go-home show before tomorrow night's Backlash pay-per-view. So, we got a lot to talk about tonight on SmackDown. Lots of good things coming your way. I don't know the official card, but there's a rumor that Miss Bliss, and it's in Dayton, Ohio, so it's in her neck of the woods, even though I think she's from Columbus, Ohio, so it's kind of nearby. But anyway, so Miss Bliss is rumored to be backstage tonight at SmackDown. Whether she gets used or not, that remains the question, but she is back on the road, so we could see Miss Bliss, Alexa Bliss, back on our TV screens. And hopefully, with her, maybe the Wyatt 6. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. And other shit that happens tonight on SmackDown, your 3-hour cure for insomnia. We got a couple more shows to go before we go back to 2 hours of insomnia. So, but we're getting there. We're getting there. We're also 2 weeks away from Saturday night's main event number 39. I'm surprised it only has been 39 episodes. I thought it would have been much more since it started up in the 80s, but... And that's, NXT Battleground Weekend. We got that coming up 2 weeks from tomorrow. We got Battleground 2 weeks from Sunday. AEW Double or Nothing at the same fucking time. I don't know why it's the same, both pay-per-views at the same time, going head-to-head with each other. Which one's probably going to be better? I don't know. Probably be Double or Nothing. That's just my opinion, but we'll see what happens with all that. In 2 weeks from Sunday, then we got the Memorial Day Raw, and then the Aftermath on NXT on Tuesday, and then the Aftermath of Double or Nothing on Wednesday. That's the 28th of May, and then right after that, we got another double pay-per-view. We got NXT Worlds Collide going head-to-head, well, not going head-to-head, but they're going to be NXT versus Triple A. That should be fun. That's going to be at 3 p.m., June the 7th. And then, right after that, Money in the Bank. Right after that, at 7 p.m. in, where's it going to be? In LA, I believe. It was Battlegrounds in Tampa, Florida. And Double or Nothing's going to be in Phoenix. So, lots of wrestling coming up in the next few weeks and going into June, and then eventually July with Ring of Honor's coming back on pay-per-view with Supercard of Honor 19, I believe. We got Collision the night before that, and Supercard's going head-to-head with SmackDown, and then that Saturday, July the 12th is All In. I think it's gonna be in the daytime. Like, I don't know. I think it's like in the 3 o'clock, and I think there's a Saturday night's main event is that night as well. That's gonna be at 8 o'clock. So that's gonna be a lot of big action coming up in July. That weekend's gonna be crazy. And then don't forget August. We got a big month of August with SummerSlam. Night 1 and 2, August 2nd and 3rd. We got Clash in Paris at the end of the month. And Forbidden Door the week after. I think it's Clash in Forbidden Door is the 23rd of August, I believe, and then Clash in Paris is the week after that, which I believe is August the 30th. So that would be really bad if Forbidden Door is going head to head with Clash in Paris, because they're in different time zones, because they're in London and in Paris, which is around the same, I think it's the same time zone, like 5 hours away from us, from me here in the New York City area, so it's gonna be crazy, but we'll get there. And also we got Grand Slam Mexico coming up in July, Fyter Fest coming up in about 3 weeks, so lots of great stuff coming your way. So if you don't hit that bell, you won't know what's going on with all the great reviews and analysis, or analysis, as we call it. So please, you have to hit that bell, like, now. I mean, now. Everything's happening now is happening now. What happened again, Peter? We missed it. Fuck! That's all I gotta say about that. Alright, we move on with that. Anyway, like I said, we got SmackDown coming up at 8 o'clock. But before we get to SmackDown, we're going to talk about your late and super so far out of date AEW Dynamite and Collision reviews. So a 2-for-1 special for that ace, or that ace. She's got a nice ace. And I know from experience. Right, EO? Oh, sorry. Anyway. Sorry. So, a 2-for-1 special on video number 1 on your Friday afternoon, May the 9th, 2025. Once again, right here on the Peter Joseph channel. That's me. I'm Peter Joseph. Your gracious, wild, and crazy host. I am a content creator talking about the wonderful world of professional wrestling, or whatever the fuck I want to talk about. If you like it, great, hit that like button. If not, go fuck yourself, get out of here. And don't forget to subscribe! and hit that bell. Alright. We move on with that. Alright. After 10 minutes of spiel, let's get to your Dynamite review first before we get to Collision. And then we'll go to your Raw review, and then right into SmackDown. So, back-to-back videos coming your way in a span of about an hour and a half. Or so, depending on how my editing software goes. But, blah, 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 blah. That's that. Alright, hope you have a great weekend. And if not, fuck you. Alright, let's get to Dynamite. And Dynamite emanated from the Masonic Temple Theater, a lovely theater, in Detroit, Rock City! Detroit, Michigan, or as we say, Detroit. For you people that speak French. Detroit! Alright, our commentary team, as always on Wednesday nights, the man behind the mask, Excalibur, the biggest Met fan I know. He's hopefully cheering the Mets on this weekend with a 4-game series against the Cubbies, and they will play this game tonight. You know, there was some concern that they will not get this game because it did rain like cats and dogs earlier. Still kind of raining here in New York, but Mother's Day weekend is going to be fine and dandy, hot too on Sunday, 80 degrees for your mama. Yeah! Gotta love that. But tonight, you know, the field's going to be wet, it's going to be, so. But they'll get the game in tonight, tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night, and then Sunday, Mother's Day Sunday, a 12:30 game on Roku. So I can't even watch it. Unless on the MLB app. Bruh, Roku! Not Goku, but Roku. Kakarot! Nope, Vegeta, not Kakarot. I didn't say Goku, I said Roku. Is that his son? No, that's Gohan. And Goten. And I hate him too! Okay, we figured that out. I'm the principal sage! I know. Calm down. Don't tell me to calm down, you dirty human. Shut up. I'll go Super Saiyan 9 on your ass. Give you a gilly color. Fuck you, Vegeta. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so we got Excalibur, the biggest Met fan I know, Taz! And the man who should be in the Hall of Fame and have his own wing, and that's Tony Baloney Schiavone, for people that love Jericho, Tony Schiavone. Alright, this is the go-home show before this coming Wednesday's Beach Break event in Chicago, Illinois. Alright, main event for Wednesday night show was Samoa Joe, 1/3 of the Trios champions, going up against a member of the Death Riders, and that's the Swiss, Claudio Castagnoli. We got that, and we got a whole lot more for that Aish on Dynamite. So let's get into it. Let's not waste any more of your precious time. Alright, so we start with the opening sequence. We have a new theme! Yes! New theme! Yes! And it's not the Pointer Sisters, thank the Lord. No more, I'm so excited! You know, no more of that. We got some rock and roll for that ass, and we got some 41's new, I don't know if it's a hit song, it's, what's the name of the goddamn song, I know it's by Sum 41, but I forgot the name of the song. I think it's called, Start a War or something like that. But it's great, it's way better than I'm so excited. Nothing wrong with the Pointer Sisters, you know, God rest one of them. You know, she passed away. I don't remember her name, but I think it was Regina Pointer, I don't remember. But anyway, way better than that, because, you know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with some 80s music there, Tony Khan, but, you know, thanks for the medal. Because Sum 41 is a rock/metal band. Too bad they're breaking, not breaking up, they did break up momentarily, but now they're back, and then, now they're retiring! Or, so we think. Because, you know, not every rock metal band retires. Kiss! Motley Crue! Nobody ever retires in music, because there'll always be another new album coming out, whether it be a greatest hits album, a remastered album, they don't retire. I mean, they retire from touring, per se. I mean, Ozzy's retiring next month. I think next month or July. Or so we think Ozzy's retiring. You know he's gonna come out with another album. He's gonna sit at home like, oh fuck, man, I missed the fans. Shannon, I missed the fans, Shannon. Somebody call Zach Wild and get him over here. I need to make a record. By God. Yeah, we need a new album, Ozzy. I mean, nothing wrong with Patient Number 9, but, you know. Zach's not on the album per se, but he has a couple songs where he plays that mighty twanger. Was really Andrew Watts mostly playing on the album. I think Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers on that album too. Lots of guys. Slash is in the new Mammoth Van Halen video. Woo-hoo-hoo! That video is creepy as fuck. Danny Trio, remember him? Everybody's favorite guy, Danny Trio. It's like he goes into a bar and meets up with Danny Trio, and he's like, "Don't play no loud music." And you think Wolfgang Van Halen was gonna play loud, soft music? Was gonna play some Isley Brothers tunes? He plays it so loud, everybody turns into a zombie or a werewolf, and then they proceed to kill the band. And then Wolfgang's like, "Ah!" I mean, go look at the video. I think it's called This Is the End or something like that. Just check it out on YouTube. It is an amazing video. With lots of cameos. I mean, Danny Trejo, Slash. I should be in that video. God damn it. I met the guy. I met Wolfgang Van Halen. Great guy. Wish I met his dad. Sadly, I did not. The great Eddie Van Halen. Eddie! Not that Eddie from Iron Maiden, but Eddie. That Eddie. The greatest guitar player in the world. In my eyes. You know, there's a lot of other guitar players are, you know, emulated him, basically. You know, but he got his thing from, like, Randy Rhoads and Jimmy Page. Well, Jimmy Page is still alive, but, you know, guys like, were dead. Like Jimi Hendrix and, you know, Stevie Ray Vaughan, people like that. Even though Stevie Ray Vaughan got his tone and playing, you know, his tone and, you know, stuff from Eddie Van Halen. Zakk Wylde got all that from Randy Rhoads and, you know, other players too. Jimmy, of course. I mean, without those guys, there'd be no Eddie Van Halen, no Randy Rhoads, no other guitarists like Zakk Wylde and other underrated guitar players. I mean, there'd be no Zakk Wylde and the great Dimebag. There'd be no other great guitar players like that are out now, and many of them are very underrated, like Chris Howarth and Randy Whitesoff in this moment. J.T. Lee, anyone? George Lynch. So many others are so underrated. They don't get enough freaking love and stuff. It's just sad. It is really sad. Like, Mick Mars is underrated, and people thought he's overrated. I'm like, what? People think John 5 is overrated. I'm like, what? John 5 is overrated? Are you fucking kidding me? If it wasn't for Marilyn Manson, we wouldn't even know who the fuck John 5 is. I'm just saying. John 5 is great right now. I mean, his solo work is great. His time in Motley Crue, though he doesn't play, you know, the same parts as Mick Mars, but, you know, gets there, but... When his time, and we all know his time in Rob Zombie, we should went back to him instead of going to Motley, but, you know, that's just my opinion. Motley sounds great with John 5 or without him. Which, Vince Neil sings like he can't sing anymore. He sings like one word a song, like blah, 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 blah. What? Vince, like, lay off the cheeseburgers. But, you know, Motley's still going strong, even though their EP that came out was horrible. With John 5 on it, it felt like when Vince got fired, that they bring in the new ingredient with that album, the Motley Crue album that came after. The self-titled album, it was just bad. The tour was bad. And they say, "Oh, Vince, come back. We need you again." And then, they made some great albums after that. But, it is what it is. Can't win them all. Even when Judas Priest kind of fired the metal god, Rob Halford, I think it was after Painkiller, that one. And then, they bring in Tim Ripper Owens for Jugulator. And, what was he? I forgot, and then the one after that, which kind of coincided with the Rockstar movie, was kind of based off that, but, I think Tim Ripper Owens did a pretty good job, filling in for Rob Halford, but, even though he didn't really sound like Rob Halford, he could scream like that, but, I think Jugulator is a really underrated album, just my opinion, with Tim Ripper Owens on it. Then the follow-up was, but then, everybody's like, "We want Rob back!" And then Rob came back for just amazing albums after that. Still going strong. Still singing Painkiller! Hey, Rob, if you need an extra guy, call me up. I could sing those parts. My voice might go out, but I'm not like Maria Brink and screaming and I can't scream no more. Speaking of In This Moment, they're going on tour for some festivals, and in August, holy shit, the Hell Hath No Fury tour, with a lot of great bands are opening up for them, and they're going to be in, not my neck of the woods, it's going to be in Jersey in the middle of August. Can't wait for that. I'm going to that one, hopefully. Hopefully going to the final stop on that tour, which is mid-August. And then after that, I think they're doing some festivals in September and October, and then hopefully that album comes out. They've been working on it, I know that. I've been getting, updates from the band. I'm just... Let me just say, I did hear a snippet of the new stuff. Woo, boy. Get ready to have your ears bleeding, your eyeballs popping out your head, your brain explodes, forget it. In This Moment, album number 9 is I think it's a real step up from God Mode. Tentatively titled Blood Moon, but I don't know about that yet. Because Maria, you know how Maria is. But we love Maria, we love In This Moment, and if you don't, fuck you, man. That's all I gotta say about that. You don't like my friends, you don't like my band, well, fuck you, man. Pretty much. You can't, it's the best tagline ever. But I digress. Alright, let's get back into wrestling, let's get back to, what are we getting into? We're getting into Dynamite. Alright, we're going crazy. Going crazy! Okay. Alright, so we got Sum 41 with their new, the new AEW theme. It's great. Love it. Alright, so we start the show properly with the Hangman. Adam Page is coming out to do some cowboy shit. So, he comes out and says, "I have no idea why anyone would cheer for me after everything I've been through, the past year or so. But, well, we're in Detroit, you happen to see me, right? Yay!" Alright, so, he talks about the horrible things he's done to Swerve, burning down his house, shit like that, and almost killing him. And that a horrific cage match they had, I think it was Full Gear. And he was this close to closure, but he still hasn't had that closure with Swerve yet. And he didn't know why, and then he channeled that anger at everyone basically around him, like Christopher Daniels and people like that. And while you never forget what Swerve did to him, basically, going into his house and, all that other shit, he says, "I can put it behind me," even though he's like, "Well, I don't have closure, but I'll put that shit that Swerve did behind me for now." And then he's like, "That brings me to Double or Nothing, where I will face Will Oceansway, reach for the sky, whoa! Bam! For a world title shot in the Owen Hart men's finals. So, on cue, Oceansway comes out, and he's like, "This is the first time we've actually met there, Hangman. And I understand what this means to you." And then he talks about Page's history here in AEW, pretty much from the start. former AEW champion, blah, blah, blah. He's like, you won the title, you lost it, things started going real bad for you, but last week, for the first time in a long time, you actually smiled again. It's good to smile. And while a lot of people want to see you happy again, I'm not losing at Double or Nothing. There is no way, no how I'm losing at Double or Nothing to you and earning my title shot at Moxley or Joe or whoever is the champion by then. So, Ocean Spray says, I've been doing a lot of your jobs, from meet and greets to media, photos with the kids, and just because you're smiling again doesn't mean you can basically take my spot, dog spot, liver spot, but my spot back, because that doesn't mean cowboy shit to me. Damn. He says, this is all about ascension. And then the Doghouse family come out to ruin it. Like, Doghouse is there, I think, with Kyle Fletcher, Takeshita, Josh Alexander, basically everybody. The new Roppongi Vice, or RPG Vice, Trent, and Lucky Romero, listen. And, Lance Archer was there, everybody, guys, him. So they all come out. Callis calls Ocean Spray an idiot for leaving the team back in the day. So Ocean Spray's like, oh, okay, you guys want to fight? How about me and the Hangman fight any two of you? And then Adam's like, no, I don't want to team with you. Get out of here. I'm out of here. I'm not doing it. So Don Callis like, okay. The match is on for Beach Break, assuming Adam Page doesn't have a little breakdown before then. So, we got that. So, we did find out later in the show that it's going to be Takeshita, or Take a Shit Up, and Josh Alexander teaming up. They've been a great tag team, undefeated, by the way, even though they're facing flunkies. So they're going to team up against Ocean Spray and Page, and we'll see if they can coexist. Well, who knows? We got that. So, that opening segment, I gave 3.25 out of 5 stars, and we're off and running on Dynamite. Alright, then we go to FTR, fuck the Revival, Cash, he's got a Glock, Wheeler, and Daxie Axe Harwood with their counsel, Stokely Hathaway. They go to commentary, they start mocking Tony Baloney Schiavone, they start pushing him around, I'm like, oh boy, you ain't gonna do that shit. Especially to Tony Schiavone, he'll knock you out. And then, he got up, he's like, what would you, don't you mess with me, Stokely, I'll fuck you up. I'm like, shit. So FTR cuts that off, and they're ready to beat up Danny Garcia on Collision, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And they say, oh, we'll see your good buddy Nigel McGuinness, me love. On Collision as well. So, we got that. So, it's Danny Garcia against a member, whether it be Dax or Cash Wheeler on Collision. We'll talk about that later. Alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we go to the back with the ladies. We have Honey Cameron and Anna Jay, the woman with a fat ass and a bad attitude. They have the TNA, tenacity and aggression. Not tits and ass, they do, but... Oh boy. So, to win, blah blah blah, because Anna Jay's in a fatal 4-way match, in a number one, basically an eliminator match. We'll talk about that in a bit. So Anna Jay thinks they have more, the more common definition as well, and hardly agrees with that. She said something else, and Anna's like, you can't say that on TV. I think she said TNA. Yeah, we said TNA on AEW television. Woo! Alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. And then, Harley smacks Anna Jay's ass, and then basically jumps on her back, and then they leave. It should have been me. But I digress. Alright, so then we go to this weird non-title eliminator match. We have Timeless Tony Storm. Darling! What's up? And remember, when Tony Storm comes out, chin up, tits out, watch for the shoe! Alright, so she takes on Thunder Rosa, Anna Jay and Penelope Ford. So the winner, I guess, gets a future title shot. I don't know how this match went, but it's an eliminator match. Anyway, it was kind of sloppy, and at points it was good. Blah, blah, blah. Tony hits the sexy hip attack on Penelope Ford and Anna Jay in the corner. Ow. And then the Mega Sus, Megan Bayne, comes out and takes out everybody but her good friend Penelope Ford. And it's a no DQ because it's a fatal 4-way match. Then she has a sit-out powerbomb to Anna Jay. And then, honey! Cameron comes in with a pipe. Oh, that was the thing that she said. She said on Collision, she said something about taking that pipe or something like that. And it's like, hey, you can't say that! Well, we know Megan Bayne takes a lot of pipe from Joey Janela. How? I don't know. Why they're together? Some of these things ain't where they belong here. And that's one couple that should not be together. But if they're happy, great for them. Megan Bayne scares me at times, but, she's tall. Nothing wrong with that. I've been with tall women. Not that tall, but, she probably can break my back in like 6,000 places, which would be a good and bad thing. But I digress. Alright, so so Harley comes in with a pipe, clears the ring, and then Toni Storm gets the TCM chicken wing and makes Penelope Ford tap out. So you couldn't even save your friend after Harley came down with a pipe? Okay, we'll go with that. Alright, decent match. So, Tony gets the win in a ridiculously dumb eliminator match. Tony Khan sniffing that cocaine. That's how this match came up. Oy. Alright, anyway, 3 out of 5 stars for that. And then Toni Storm gets on the mic afterwards to talk to us, and she's always talking to us. And basically, if I get my notes correct, let's go. Alright, so afterwards, she didn't say anything. I thought she did. Oh, she said something on Collision, which we'll get to in a minute. But we'll hear from Tony later. Alright, then we see the crew in the crowd. We see, Action Andretti and Leo Rush. We see them. And then we have the music of the Hurt Syndicate. We hurt people! Like the Prophecy does. Hey, the Prophecy and the Hurt Syndicate should, MVP, we can work some business. I have some people, that need some hurting. Especially the one that failed. Show up and do nothing. What? Waste your time. You're wasting your time and money. Just for content. Idiot. Waste. What a waste of I'm gonna waste your time doing that shit? Come on. Alright, moving on. Alright, so the Hurt City come in Bobby Lashley and Shelty Baby Shelton Benjamin. Not Benjamin Shelton Hulkster, you idiot. By the way, check out my rant on my rant channel. I buried that motherfucker. But I digress. So MVP says that Bobby and Shelton are the best tag team in AEW. Well, they're the champs, bitch. So who is here to step up and challenge them? And then, of all teams, Top Flight come out. Darius and Dante Martin without Layla Gray. Anyway, they say they know they're underdogs, but they're ready to show that they belong again. And then Maxwell Jacob Footknocker, MJF, basically comes out in a white beater, beats the fuck out of Top Flight, bloodies up, Dante, and he wipes the blood. It's like, oh, look, Bobby, look what I did! I hurt people too! And then Lash like, okay, Max, okay, I'm impressed. Most impressive, Skywalker. Very impressive, Skywalker. Now, strike me down and your ascent to the dark side will be complete. Oh, gotta love Emperor Palpatine. Gotta love him. Anyway, so Lance is impressed, and then he says, Max, I'll give you an answer next week. And Max like, okay. So we'll see if Bobby gives him the old thumbs up, or... And a lot of people are saying that Cedric Alexander is going to show up next week. We'll see. But I was like, I fooled you! I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens next week. But all that, I gave 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we see the elite of the Continental the Continental Denny's IHOP Breakfast of Champions champion. That's Kata! He's there with the Young Bucks. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, they're all ready for their 6-man tag team match later on with Mark Briscoe, the Funky Chicken, Speedball Mike Bailey, and Swerve. And, not 6-man tag team match, well, yeah, they have a 6-man tag team match. Now Okada's facing Kevin Knight in a non-eliminator match. But Rick O'Shit comes in and is like, hey, we're all ready to fight. And then they go into their room, and then we see the Death Riders in there. I'm like, what are you guys doing here? Talking some business. I don't know. Alright, we got that. Alright, then we go back to the ring with Ring of Honor World Title match. Ring of Honor TV title match. We have the champ, Nick freaking Wayne, comes out with his dad, Christian Cage, and the rest of the patriarchy. Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne's mom has got it going on. Yes, she does got it going on. And we got that. So, here's an open challenge that was made by his dad, Christian Cage. So Nick Wayne faces Detroit's own former ECW World Champion, former TV Champion, former TNA Champion, former everything champion, the Man Beast, Rhino, Gore! Alright, so he comes in and pretty much gets beat. What? 3-minute suckfest. Nick Wayne beats him with a little distraction from Christian Cage and the patriarchy. And then Nick Wayne walks right into a spine buster. And then he avoids the gore. And then basically kicks Rhino right in the gut. And then hits the kill switch. 1, 2, 3 to retain the title. Not that Rhino was going to win that belt, but we get that. Match was garbage. I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. And then afterwards, Christian goes to put the belt on his son like he did last week. So he puts it around him. Then he's like, he takes the belt, looks at it, looks at his son, and then drops the belt. You son of a bitch! Don't tell me that Christian Cage is going to be the new Ring of Honor TV champion. Please, for the love of God, no. We don't need AEW superstars winning Ring of Honor belts, okay? Stop. Stop it, Tony Khan. Seriously. I mean, Dustin and the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara, are the tag team champions. Sammy and Dustin are really on the AEW roster, but they downgraded the Ring of Honor. Why? Don't know. Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions are Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs, but never defend the belt. We know Athena is like holding that belt, the women's title, hostage for almost 1,000 days now. Jeez. She's probably going to lose a Billy Starks at this point, because I have no idea what they're doing for Supercard. And they got Red Velvet from Your Mama's Kitchen as the women's TV champion. Who's going to beat her? Maybe La Catalina. I don't know at this point. And now they got a tournament for the women's pure title. Who's going to win that? I don't know. I don't care. I don't care that much about Ring of Honor like I used to. The belts mean shit. Bandito's the world champ. That's the only good thing about it. And Athena, that's it. Athena and Bandito are your main faces of the company. That's barely a company. I don't know. know. I just don't know. Ring of Honor is dead to me at this point. It is dead. I still review it, but it's a dead company. It's like an indie fed. A local indie fed that caters to like 20 people. It's sad. I mean, if I'm freaking... I mean, it's great to hold the belt for like 1,000 days and defend it every so often. I feel like Roman at times, you know? I'm like, shit, I'm the world champ. I got nothing to do. I'm going to sit back, relax, and drink my Pepsi. And then watch it, and Tony Khan's like, oh, we need you for a match on TV or the pay-per-view. We're going to set you up. We're going to have a feud with some guy. I'm like, oh, who? Oh, this guy? Well, let's have a feud with Adam Cole, baby. Why not? Why not? Well, Adam Cole, we'll put each other over. It's great. Adam Cole, your career went nowhere. Now you're relegating to do Twitch. Not a bad thing, but you know. By the way, if anybody's at PAX East, please say hello to Chugs for me. You know it's Adam Cole, right? And Kenny. Kenny will be there too. So, if you're at PAX East this weekend, wherever that is, say hello to Adam Cole, baby, and Kenny Got Omega! Bang! Tell him I sent you. That's that. Alright, so Christian tries to put the belt on his son and drops the Ring of Honor title right in his face. Oh. And you see Nick Wayne's mom, like, and Kip Sabian's like, I'm out of here, I got nothing to say. Shit. Alright, we got that. We move on. Alright, then we get a promo from Bruce, who was revenge on Kevin Knight for costing him 100,000 pesos last week on Collision. That went to, who that went to Sammy Guevara. What an interesting tweet. I don't know what that meant. He said, when one door closes, another opens. What does that mean there, Sammy? I hope it's not what we think it means, but... Not that he's getting released. Not one of those contract situation, but... Yeah, we see that. Alright, we got that. 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we get to Speedball Mike Bailey Swerve with my good buddy Prince Nana. Please buy his coffee, please. It's just amazing. Rosa loves Prince Nana's coffee. Not that coffee. She drinks a lot of coffee. She's wired. She had some this morning, and she's like, boom! She just went out shopping. She's coming back soon, so. Anyway, so he teams up with Mark Briscoe, the funky chicken, as always with Mark Briscoe. We pay homage to his brother, the man up there who you, sir, you fight like a madman because you go crazy as shit. Buck Wild! Go about it, Buck Wild! Jay Briscoe, reach for that sky, boy. There we got that. Alright, so let's take on the Young Bucks, Matt, Nick Jackson, and Rick O'Shit. Pretty fun match. Back and forth they went. We get near the end, and get a whole bunch of knockdowns, and then a breather, and the fans like, yeah, this is great stuff! And then Speedball Mike Bailey goes for the hot tag, and it gets cut off, and then he kicks the Bucks away, and then Swerve comes in to clean house. Ricochet gets powerbombed, and a bunch of knockdowns sets up Froggy Row by Mark Briscoe on Matt Jackson for a near fall, as Nick made the save, and then the other four guys are outside the ring, fighting amongst themselves, and then, out of nowhere, Matt Jackson rolls Swerve up with a fruit roll-up, 1, 2, 3, shocking win, I should say, by the Bucks and Ricochet. Swerve's like, what? I lost how? So the Elite and Ricochet get the win in over 14 minutes. Match was pretty fun. 3.5 out of 5 stars. And, that's it. We move on. Alright, then we get an interview, I believe, with Renee Paquette, who interviewed, there was Renee or Alicia Atute, with Will Oceanspray, but then Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker interrupts, and they start arguing, bluff! And then, to talk about, last year's All Out event, No, All In, I should say. Sorry. Uh, and then MJF wants to fight him again after Ocean Spray wins the title. It's like, oh, we'll run this back, and I'll win back my AEW World title. And it says, Will, you're not on the level of the devil. And then Ocean Spray says, hey, I'm on another level. Is this foreshadowing? Like, Ocean Spray is going to win at all In, and then whatever happens after All In, we're going to get a match with Ocean Spray and MJF for the belt. Whether MJF's in the Hurt Syndicate or not, I don't know. But that was pretty good. 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, then Renee Paquette with a sit-down interview with Jamie Hayter, who is facing Mercedes Moné, the CEO, who's going to be defending her New Japan Strong Women's title against my 4th amazingly hot Asian wife. We got married a couple weeks ago, and that's Mina Shirakawa. That's coming up soon. But anyway, so they're facing off in the women's finals of the Owen Hart Cup. So Jamie doesn't think Mercedes is much like Owen Hart. What do you think? She wants to know the real Mercedes Moné, who says that Jamie Hayter is like her. But and Jamie's like, well, that doesn't work for me, bro. I don't have the same resume as Mercedes, but I have integrity, grit, and truth. And this is all about showing Mercedes that she isn't everything she thinks she is, because because she thinks that Mercedes is looking past her. And then out of nowhere, Mercedes runs in for a cheek shot, and then they start fighting. The chase is on. They go into the arena, like in the box seat area, like right near the stage. And then Mercedes runs off again. They're screaming, ah! And then she comes right back and knocks Jamie down, then locks her in the bank statement. I'm not liking this match at all. It would have been way better if it was Mercedes versus Athena. Not in the semis. It would have been better in the finals. I'm saying, but Mercedes is going to win this thing. She's going to face Toni Storm at All In. I doubt it's going to be like a unification match. It's not, by that time, who knows if Mercedes has 4 belts, maybe 5 belts. Who knows? She was supposed to go for the House of Glory belt that Megan Bayne has, and that was supposed to be in March, but that got canceled because Megan had another commitment. So I don't know when that match at House of Glory is going to be. No, I really don't care, because House of Glory is boring. The commentary is boring. We all know why. Not you, Solo Monster. Great to see you, by the way. Your friend Jerry, he's a bitch. He sucks at commentary. But that's another story for another time. But this match, I am not giving 2 fucks about. Mercedes is gonna win, most likely. Face Toni Storm at All in July. Probably lose. I can't see Mercedes winning the title and holding the TBS title still hostage. I think she loses that TBS title soon. I don't know who, but soon. I hope. But we'll see. Alright, we got that. Now, all that I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then we go to the back. We have Willow Nightingale, the resident fun girl. Bam! So she wants a title shot as well, but then Chris Statlander, her friend / former friend, she comes in. They talk about, their past and everything. And, she wants to be her friend again. And Willow's like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't give a fuck about you. But if you want to go, you want to go at it one more time. I think it's like that 6th or 8th match. She's like, we can fight on Collision. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So I give that 2.25 out of 5 stars. And then we have Okada in a eliminated match against Kevin Knight. Wasn't that bad. It starts out, Okada jumped him at the start. Beat his ass, and then Kevin Knight was okay to continue the match, and it went pretty good for 8.5 minutes, but in the end, the top rope Macho Man elbow, ooh, yeah, dig it, by Okada, even though Randy does it way better. Is that right, Randy? Oh, yeah, that's right. Isn't that right, Miss Elizabeth? That's right, Mr. Joseph. Randy. Liz, you look great today.
Oh, but thank you, Mr. Joseph.
Should be in the Hall of Fame.
I know. You won't let me. My family's a bunch of pricks.
Hey, easy. Not your family's fault. It's your good buddy Lex Luger's in the Hall of Fame before you. Oh yeah, we'll exonerate Lex Luger now for that shit. Put him in the Hall of Fame, but the family of Miss Elizabeth's like, oh, we don't give shit. We don't care. We know Owens ain't gonna get in because you gotta really convince Martha Hart. It's like, oh, to put Owen in. There's another one that won't go in. There's another one. I think it's Benoit. I think it's Benoit. Doubt he shouldn't even. Well, but for his wrestling, yes. But for what he did to Daniel and Nancy, I say no to the Hall of Fame for that. Wrestling wise, yes. As a person, no. He deserves to burn in hell. Satan's pretty much finished with his soul, isn't it right, Satan? That's right, Mr. Joseph. He's burning. He was very tasty. Oh, whoa, easy. Easy there, Satan. Shut up. Okay. Yes, sir. I digress. But anyway, so he hits the top rope elbow, and then he flips off the crowd. Then some fruit roll-ups give Kevin Knight near falls. Then he scores with a big-time dropkick, but Okada comes back, drop kicks him out of mid-air. Then he finishes him up with the Haymaker. 1, 2, 3. Okada gets the win in 8.5 minutes. Match was alright. 2.5 out of 5 stars. So Kevin Knight does not get a title shot. And then afterwards, big old beatdown until Speedball Mike Bailey comes in for the save. So I guess Speedball's not going to get a title shot or a limited match with Okada. Ugh. Who's going to beat Okada for that belt? I don't know. Alright, we got that. Alright, then we go to the back. We have the Don Callis family basically telling the Outrunners, get ready to go back to 1985. That's Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd, my good buddies that follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Love you guys. Thanks for the support, by the way. Oh, wait, they did hit me up on Twitter for my birthday. Thanks, dude. Thanks. Anyway, moving on. So, they tell the Outrunners to find some partners to fight them in an 8-man tag team match on Collision. We see what happens there. Alright, so 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Then we see the Hurt Syndicate with some lawyer. I forgot his name. I can't think of his name. Anyway, so basically the Hurt Syndicate's lawyer tells Bobby Lashley not to say anything about MJF. Then we got that. That gets 2.25 out of 5 stars. Then we go to a main event of Dynamite. Samoa Joe, by himself, comes out with Claudio, by himself. Comes out from, like, the balcony or some shit. This was a pretty damn good match for almost 11 minutes. We get, Joe's gonna kill you, chants from the crowd. And they go back and forth, very brutal match. We get near the end. Power slam into a running big boot to face, gets a near fall on Claudio by Samoa Joe. Claudio goes right back with a springboard spinning Tiger uppercut. And then Joe's like, no sold that shit. And then he gets hit, and then on the way down he locks him in the Coquina clutch, and then Claudio tapped out immediately. So that's that. Match was alright, 3 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, the rest of the Death Riders were in to interfere. William Utah, the idiot, and Moxley come to the ring, but then Powerhouse, Will Hobbs comes in with a chair, and then they basically do what the Death Riders did to Hook and Shibata, and they basically, beat his ass, they kind of like smash him with a chair and all that shit. That's what they did, Basically, payback. So Claudio's out, so the Admiral, the Sergeant of the Death Riders is pretty much out of action right now, so he's not going to show up. I doubt he's going to show up next week for the cage match with Mox and Joe. It's going to be bloody as fuck. You know Mox is going to bleed the first 5 minutes of that match. But we'll see what happens with that. Alright, so that ends Dynamite. And Dynamite was pretty damn good. I gave it 7.25 out of 10 stars. And that's that. Alright, we're going to quickly, hopefully, go to Collision. And then we'll move on with that. Let me just get my, hopefully get my notes in here. By the way, this break brought to you by Pepsi. Oh, that felt good. Alright, let's get to Collision. And Collision, once again, from the Masonic Temple Theater in Detroit, Michigan. And this time a commentary team of Tony Baloney Schiavone and Nigel McGuinness, me love. A special Thursday night edition of Collision because of Backlash. And even though, you know, the cost of the shows are great, you know, a lot of fans are not sticking around for the shows, so it's kind of hurting AEW with the double tapings or the double shows, well, you know, stuff like that, so, but that's the price you pay, Tony Khan. It is what it is. Alright, so Collision was actually good too, so we start off in the balcony, in the box seats, with Timeless Tony Storm, with a spotlight, and then she cuts. I'm surprised this made TV. I'm very surprised it made TV. She goes into a whole sexual rant, says, so many men have taken a shot at me in here, I feel like Abraham Lincoln. Then talks about her first time being messy and it hurt and shit like that. I'm like, damn. But it was something she wanted to do more often and with like 2 people at a time, 3 people at a time. It resulted in objects being added to them and filthy perverts watching. Like, damn. Where can I find this action at? I want to see this. Is this on OnlyFans? Shit, if Tony Storm has an OnlyFans, I mean, everybody and their mom has an OnlyFans in the world of professional wrestling. And in real life, too. I mean, God forbid Rosa makes one. I don't think anybody wants to see that. Or if I make one. If I made one, I don't think well, a lot of ladies would love to see that, but, you know, guys, I don't swing that way for you. So, I doubt I'll ever make one of those. I mean, why? Why would I even make one? Just show off my sexy body, you know? But, you know, maybe one day, but I doubt it will ever happen. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. And she says, of course, I'm talking about fighting for my women's title, so get me someone ready for next week, because I'm not waiting for a hater or a CEO. Alright, so we'll see who she faces at Beach Break. It'll be somebody from the company or somebody outside the company, like when she fought Miyu Yamashita, and we all know what happened there. So I think we did see a little spider coming down the screen. That's the ever so popular moniker of Thekla. So we might see Thekla next week. She's gone from Star and she got fired. And pretty much it was announced that she is All Elite. So I think we're going to see Thekla take on Toni Storm next week in probably like an eliminator match or some shit. And then Athena, look out! We did see that in Japan after Wrestling Dynasty, and Athena barely came out of that match alive with the Ring of Honor World Women's title. That was a good match. That was good. I'd like to see them run it back, but I mean, we'll have to see. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, moving on. Alright, then we get, alright, so I gave Tony Storm's promo 3 out of 5 stars. Then we get Renee Paquette with the Paragon. We got Adam Cole, baby! The TNT champion, and Roddy Strong. Roddy Strong. Next Strong, my friends. Next Strong. And Kyle O'Reilly Auto Parts. They're all disappointed with their, Roddy and Kyle are disappointed with their loss last week to FTR, but they still say they're the greatest tag team ever. They're still a great team, I agree. And then Adam Cole is all glad You know, they know that we're still great. We're the best. You know, we're looking forward. And then the grizzled young veterans. Hey, remember them? I haven't seen them in a while. Probably fighting in England. You know, they have visas, so who knows. But anyway, Drake and Gibson come in, and basically they think that the Paragon is going soft. So we got a match next week. I think it's coming next week. So they're ready to fight them anytime, anywhere. And yeah, that's it. So we got the Grizzled Young Veterans against Roddy and Kyle sometime next week. It should be decent. I'm not going to say it's great, but we've got that. But it's great to see the Grizzled Young Veterans back. Great! Yay! Bring them out of catering, why not? Who else is left in there? Like, come on out! Where you got that? Alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, first match out of the gate. Ricochet takes on Angelico with Serpentico at ringside. Not great. I've seen better in Lucha Underground with them, but I digress. Ricochet gets the win after the Spirit Gun! In under 9.5 minutes, match was 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then after the match, Ricochet goes berserk, starts mocking the fans who should be cheering for him. Blah blah blah. And then he sees Zach Gowen in the audience with his kids. He's like, "Oh, we got a legend in the crowd of Zach Gowen. I remember you getting beat up by Brock Lesnar." And then we get some one-legged jokes, and then 3 security guards come in trying to stop this madness. And then Ricochet whips the crap out of all 3 of them. He takes one in the ring, brings his scissor in, and cuts the guy's hair. And then Zach Gowen's like, "I can't stand this anymore." He comes in and basically he takes the scissors away, but then Ricochet takes out his good leg, and then rips off the prosthetic leg. And then Ricochet mocks him by limping up the steps with the prosthetic leg. And then we got a match at Beach Break this coming Wednesday night. Oh, great! Ricochet versus a one-legged Zach Gowen. Hey, we see Zach Gowen. Oh, great. But Ricochet was really, heelish in that part. Great. But anyway, decent match, 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we get the Dog Cows family of Kyle Fletcher and Josh, who was it? No, Takeshita and Alexander, teaming with Rocky Romero, let's say, and Trent. They take on the Outrunners, Turbo Floyd and Creep Magnum. They team up with AR Fox and the Ring of Honor World Champion Bandito. Alright, so we get that. We get to the end, and a Hangman's DDT drops Lance Archer, a Skin the Cat, into a slingshot drop kick. That was nice. Hits Trent Barrett in the corner. And then Roppongi Vice is back up with a double jumping knee to Bandito. And then Lance Archer choke slams him, Bandito, off the top. And then they pick up Roppongi Vice picks up AR Fox, and they hit a new finisher called the Jackal Driver, which is like a double pile driver. Not like a spike pile driver, but they get the win in under 11 minutes. Match was decent, 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's that. There's a video for Samoa Joe and Moxley, a little hype video for the cage match coming up on Wednesday night. And then, why, I don't know, Moxley cuts a promo, and he says, "I'm ready to fight inside the cage. There's no one on the planet better at taking a beating than me." Oh yeah, we've seen that before in GCW against Nick fucking Gage. He's like, "Well, how long will that last?" Who knows? So Mox's like, "I can take it, and I'm coming out as the champ because, I'm not like the rest of the world, which are a bunch of losers, I guess." Alright, so we... So, we get all that, and a whole lot more, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so we see what happens Wednesday night in the cage with Moxley and Joe, and they gave Moxley's promo 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we get the 5-tool player, Anthony Bowens, comes out with Daddy Ass, Billy Gunn. He takes on Lee Johnson comes out with his good buddy, Mr. Vanilla himself, Blake Christian. Not a great match. 4.5-minute match. And Anthony Bowens wins with the discus forearm, or I think it's the Molly Whopper. And he gets the win. And then he cuts up. And then Blake Christian comes in and goes after Anthony Bowens, gets tossed out by Daddy Ass. And then Owens talks about his 5 tools, blah, blah, blah. And then, for old time's sake, we get a good old Sesame, Daddy Ass. Alright, we get that. Match was meh, 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's that. Alright, then the Gates of Agony come out. We got Toa Leona and Bishop Quan! I know not Quan! So they come out, and basically they waste no time calling out Big Cass and Brian Keith for a fight. They fight, pretty much in the ring. They go around the ring. And then Kevin Matthews comes out like he's gonna stop them. Really, Biff? I mean, come on. And then then everybody goes to tables on opposite sides of the stage. That was insane. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. And we move on. Then we get a hype video for Megan Bayne versus Anna Jay with Harley Cameron and Penelope Ford at ringside. That's going to be on Beach Break, I believe, on next week. Then we get a video on the feud with Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale, what happened with the Owen Hart Cup last year, and all that other shit. So then we get to a match, I believe this is like match number 6, 7, I don't know what number is up to. Statlander and Willow, they fight, decent match, and then Marina Shafir and William Yuta come out, cause a distraction with Rick Knox and everybody, and then Marina chokes Willow out with a chain, and then right behind the referee's back, Statlander comes back in, and I think hits Saturday Night Fever 1, 2, 3, and then she wins, and then that's pretty much it. Match was alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars. And yep. And then that's basically it. And we move on. Alright, then we get Sky Blue coming back next week. She's been out with that horrific ankle injury that I think she suffered in a match with, who was that match with? I think Ikuta Shida? I forget. We haven't seen her in a while either, Ikuta Shida. So, she's too busy playing games on her YouTube channel. I don't know. Alright, we get that. Alright, then we get another hype video for Hangman and Ocean Spray's face-to-face meeting last, on Dynamite. Alright, so then we get to, the Kashner and Alexander taking on the Dark Order of the man who's not really evil, Evil Uno, and Alex Reynolds. Match didn't last that long. 2.5-minute filler match. And, basically, Alexander, get the flying knee from the Kashner, and then the C4 spike by Josh Alexander gets the win. Total annihilation. So the match I gave 2 out of 5 stars. And then we get that. Then we get a video for MJF still trying to join this Hurt Syndicate. Okay, we get that. Then we get the Speedball Mike Bailey Jalisco 2. Electric Boogaloo, and it was alright. Good match. Speedball Mike Bailey gets the win again. After Bailey comes right back with a moonsault, and then the knee to the ribs. On the, I believe on the apron, and then back in. The tornado kick finishes off. Gets the win for Speedball Mike Bailey. Big goddamn deal. Match was decent, 2.5 out of 5 stars, and then afterwards, Broosh comes out and saves out Mike Bailey, so I'll probably get a match with those two gentlemen, coming up soon. Alright, then we go to your main event of Collision. Danny Garcia and Dax the Axe Hardwood with Cash Wheeler and Stokely Hathaway at ringside. Daddy Magic was, I think he wasn't there yet, he came in later. Garcia catapults Dax into the ring post and it gets busted wide open. We got blood motherfuckers! And a little bit of Danny Garcia too. So they continue to fight. Then we got Cash Wheeler hits a quick DDT in the floor. And then Daddy Magic comes out, chases Cash Wheeler to the back. And luckily he didn't get shot because, as we all know, Cash Wheeler's got a Glock. So we go to break, come back. They're still going at it, beating the fuck out of each other. Then it goes all the way to the outside, right near the commentary position. And Garcia kicks him out to the floor. They fight into the crowd. And then Dax goes over to commentary, slaps Nigel up a little bit. Knocks his headset off, shows him a little bit. And then Nigel's up like, I'm not going to fight. I'm an honorable man. I'm retired. And Dax like, fuck you, Nigel. And then Dax shows him into his chair. Then he leaves. And then Tony's like, Nigel, calm down, Nigel, calm down. Nigel's like, fuck this, man. Like, fuck this, man. He goes to the ring. And basically the match gets thrown out in over 7.5 minutes. Nigel gets in the ring. Takes out Dax and Cash Wheeler. Daddy Magic helps out a little bit later. And then Danny Garcia, Daddy Magic, and Nigel all standing in the ring. It's great. So I don't know if we're going to get Dax versus Nigel one-on-one, or it might be a tag team match with Nigel and Danny Garcia, or some type of combination, maybe a 6-man tag, I don't know. Maybe bringing Stokely to be the 6-man, I don't know. So, lots of things to talk about this weekend, going into Beach Break on Wednesday, and then next week on Collision, back on Saturday night. I think it's live, or I think it's taped. Yeah, I think it is taped, because they're in Chicago, so it's probably taped. It's going to be taped probably Wednesday or Thursday, so, yeah, what are you going to do? So we got that. And it should be a good week of action on AEW television. Alright, so Dynamite also gets 7.25 out of 5 stars. But no, what you guys thought of the show in a comment, or you can do your own video if you like, and that's pretty much it. Alright, guys, that's all I gotta say for now. I'm gonna get out of here. Try to get my Raw review up before SmackDown goes on the air in about 45 minutes. So anyway, thanks for watching. Once again, both shows, Dynamite and Collision, get 7.25 out of 10 stars respectively. Both good shows. And we'll see what happens next week at Beach Break. And that's it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, if you're not down with all that, well, fuck you, man. And that's it. Alright, Raw review coming up in a little bit. But until next time, peace.